Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I like a bargain game as much as the next person. In fact, those are some of my favorite games, are the ones you can play for free on the web, or even if they cost a couple bucks. If I can keep it forever, it's worth a couple bucks. I love those casual games. It's totally up my alley. But there's some games out there that are a bargain because they're older. Well, just because they're older, does that mean they're bad? Well, I suppose by today's standards, they may not look as nice, but does that make the games any worse? I don't think so, because I tell you, if someone gave me a copy of Jumpman Jr. that ran on Windows or the Mac, I'd be playing it all day long. One of my favorite games of all time on the Commodore 64. Oh, I loved Jumpman. I was just addicted to it. Well, Spencer Dodd, one of our community members at large who watches us on YouTube and stops by the chat room at live.pirillo.com, sent in a top 5 list. Actually, it's more than that. It's more of a top 10 list. It's a top 5 list of bargain games to pick up for Christmas for either the PS2 or the Xbox. Compatibility with both of them are right there. And he notes here that GameCube games seem to be overpriced. And I heard someone else saying that too. A lot of older Nintendo games seem to be just as expensive as the newer ones. I saw a thing on YouTube from you a while ago saying to send in your top 5 lists if you had any, and I have just one for the Christmas season. As most people know, all of the new consoles offer backwards compatibility, and some of the most fun Xbox and PS2 games can be purchased for a low cost and played on your new console. My requirements to make this list are as follows. Must be under $10, must be fun, and must be able to be played on next-gen consoles through backwards compatibility features. That's about all I require for this list. Also, GameStop and EB Games is currently having a buy 2 get 1 free sale on all used games. I got 6 games for $15. I've also found that I have had more fun with these games than I have with my 360's newer games. In my list, I will have the games, price, and a brief reason why I picked the game. Now, he's got 2 top 5 lists. One top 5 list for the Xbox games, and one top 5 list for the PS2 games. For his Xbox picks, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I picked this game because it's probably the best in the series, and is one of the few games to get a 10 out of 10 on GameSpot. $3.99. NHL Hits 2003. I picked this game because I've had more fun with this game than any other in a long time. Even non-hockey fans will enjoy it. $2.99. Grand Theft Auto 3, one of the best games ever made. Introduced GTA to 3D, Vice City, maybe better, but this is half the price and almost as much fun. $4.99. Max Payne, another great game from Rockstar, has a decent length and is a whole lot of fun. $2.99. Unreal Championship 2, real good multiplayer game, also features live for online play and content download. $4.99. Total price for all Xbox games here, these 5, with the buy 2 get 1 deal, $14.96. And you get another game, $2.99 or under for free. Didn't think it'd get much lower than $2.99, but oh well. Okay, now his top 5 picks for the PS2. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Didn't make my Xbox list because it's twice as much on the Xbox, cheaper on the PS2. Great game, $5.99. Number 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, same as the Xbox list. Great game that you cannot pass up, $5.99. Unreal Tournament, fun game to play with friends, good first-person shooter, $4.99. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, one of the best stealth games ever, $4.99. Max Payne, same as the Xbox, but if you don't have an Xbox, pick it up for the PS2, $3.99. Total price for all 5 of these PS2 games with a buy 2 get 1 deal, $25.95, and you get another game under $3.99 for free. Spencer, that is a great list. Just because a game is in the bargain bin doesn't make it any less of a game. I mean, if you prick them, do they not play? Sorry, I was mixing metaphors there. But what I'm saying is, don't skip over them just because they're last year's or the year before or the year before that games. Great games, classics. Of course, not as classic as what I was talking about, but classics nonetheless. And cheap. Cheap, 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 and fun. And cheap, and fun. And cheap, 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 and fun. There's his Xbox and PS2 list. What about your lists? What are your top 5 cheapest but best Xbox or PS2 games? Or, well, GameCube, sure. Maybe PSP, maybe DS. Maybe you still play the Sega Genesis. I actually owned a Sega Game Gear believe it or not. Yeah. What about the Game Boy? Does anybody still play the Game Boy? I mean, the classic Game Boy, right? The first Game Boy. I had a Game Boy. Yeah. Oh, boy. Those old games. So much fun. So, let me know what you think. Give me your top 5. I'd be interested in finding out. I'll be sure in the write-up for this on my blog at chris.pirillo.com. I'll put links to these games as they're found, like maybe on Amazon, or I don't know if there are any other links that we can put in here so that you can click directly to them if you wanted to buy them at a pretty good price. I'll be sure to do that just for you. And then you're also welcome to swing by the chat room, where the chatters are typically talking about games. Even if we're talking about something else, they're going to talk about games. It's inevitable. They just come in and talk about games. That's all they want to talk about. Everyone always wants to talk about games. What is it? You know what we need? We need a top 5 list of how to break yourself from the addiction of playing games. That's what I need. I need any top 5 list you got. My email, again, is chris@pirillo.com. In the chat room, if you haven't figured it out by now, because people have been typing it in a few times here, those are the chatters. They're chatting at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.